Yeah, I'll be there to buy it, and I'll be paying in cash. So I'll see you then. Thanks. Bye. Sorry about that, everyone. Welcome to the Not Even a Show. I'm your host, Chris James, aka C Money, aka CJ Fraud. And I am very, very rich and arguably wealthy now as a result of many frauds that I've done through this week. And it's really so easy to do, and you just make so much money off it. And I really don't understand why everybody doesn't do fraud. But that's neither here nor there, and let's get to the damn episode this week, and it's a good one, baby, as we call Matt Connarton and JJ McCartney, plus the return of the Mancave and ChrisX. First though, something truly incredible happened this week. As many of you know, Doc Greene and his cardboard cutouts have shut down the phone lines as a result of our pranks. But I managed to contact one of his producers and trick him into thinking that I was an anti-gun advocate named John Tisdale. He then booked me as a guest on the Doc Greene Show. Check it out.
And welcome to the Monday show. Glad to have you guys with us today. Oh, we got some good stuff coming up. Let me tell you what we got. First of all, we got somebody that took exception with some of my words last week. And so we're going to have him on the show to discuss that. His name is John Tisdale, and that's going to be a great call. So we'll have him at the bottom of the hour.
The doctor is in.
Oh, yeah. The doctor is in, and thank you guys for sticking with our technical difficulties. Here on the Newsmaker line, we have John Tisdale. And John, thank you for joining us on the Doc Greene Show.
Thanks for having me, Doc. I appreciate you taking the call and taking the time.
Well, I understand that we have a slight differing of opinion, and I believe that the only way we ever solve any problems in the world is if we talk. So, you, sir, have the floor.
Well, I was a little bit distressed about some comments that you had made in regards to saying that you will kill to save the children and asking if people would do the same. I see that as sort of inciting in a way that's, not necessarily responsible for a radio personality such as yourself to do, especially with, the history you have showing up at the library and everything. I just... I had an issue with that. I think you knew what you were doing when you said that, and I think that type of language is dangerous in today's society.
Well, I can see why you might think that. I'm trying to make a point. Of course, I was jumping on something that was said earlier in the show by one of my other associates here. But, we talked about the fact that everyone says, well, that's the hill I'm willing to die on. I'm willing to give my life for this. I'm willing to give my life for that. But Patton was brought up. You remember General Patton, and he said, your job is not to die for your country. Your job is to make the other poor bastard die for his. Your thoughts on that, John?
Well, he's a general in a war. So, I mean, the difference of it is he's speaking of in battle, which I don't necessarily agree with, but there's a difference between speaking that way in war and speaking that way as a citizen on a radio program. I just want to mention you don't have your video up right now, Doc. I'm not sure.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. We got it up now. Thank you.
No problem.
I'm still looking for another in-studio producer here. It's hard to find people that'll work for the kind of money I'm willing to pay.
I get that. But yeah, I mean, I think it's different between a wartime when we're talking in war and we're talking about living our lives. I mean, do you see it as a war happening right now? Is that the way you see the world?
Well, yes, I do. I believe it's a war. I believe it's a war for the soul of America. And I know that children are the future. I recall one man that said, "Give me your children and I will take over the world."
And I believe that's absolutely true.
And you know, one of my good friends out there, the Reverend Michael Fernandez, is a former homosexual, and he's talked to me a little bit about what his life was like in those days. And I don't want anyone to experience the darkness that comes from living the homosexual lifestyle. And I've had, a guy who used to play with me in a band years ago was another former homosexual. And,
but Doc, could you not see that the darkness that is being experienced is because of people like you and because of the rhetoric that you spread and the hate that you spread, that is why the darkness exists. So to say you don't want people to experience that and that's what you're trying to save them from is kind of the height of irony, if you ask me.
Well, I do see your point there. It's just that I disagree on your point because our mayor is a homosexual. Our previous mayor was a homosexual. So you'd have to say that homosexuality is pretty much universal and accepted here in the United States.
Would you not, John?
Yeah, I think it is, and I think that there's nothing wrong with that. The way I think of things is, whatever's happening in someone's life, I've said this before, the world is not an easy place to navigate, and it has its ups and its downs, and it's a frustrating place to be, and anything that anybody can do to feel a little bit happier and more content and enjoy life, I'm all for it. And the idea that you want to, get in the way of what people are doing outside of, your life, to me, it doesn't make any sense. But my big question for you, Doug, I have a big question about this issue, if you don't mind me asking.
Well, that's why you're here. So we air all viewpoints on this show.
Okay, perfect. So my question is, are you still fucking the cardboard cutout?
He finally got through, yeah.
ChrisX is a real throwback host, someone we used to call back in year 1 and a little bit in year 2. And the main thing you need to know about him is that he's actually an alien. He's not a real person, he's an alien. Our new Lone Wolf member, Wolf Whitman, got through to Chris and brought him back onto the channel. Check it out.
Break it down. 281-558-KSEV. Let's go to the phones. Pick up with Dave, who is holding out in Leander. Hey, Dave, thank you for hanging on.
Welcome to the Voice of Texas.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you, Dave. What's going on?
Perfect. Well, I was calling in about Jussie Smollett, but you mentioned jihadi, so I thought I had a little bit more interesting comment about illegal aliens.
Sure, you can give us both of them. It's Thursday.
Okay, great. Well, I'll start with the illegal aliens. I got to thinking about the issue with illegal aliens and the border wall, and I thought to myself, why doesn't anyone mention the issue of actual aliens hosting a radio show in Houston, and the alien's name is ChrisX?
Well, that would be clearly me. Thank you for the call, Dave. I like how Dave looks up towns in Texas. Leander's a nice place. Oh, I think I know who Dave is. Thank you for the call, 281-558-5738, 281-558-KSEV.
JJ McCartney is the main host that we call, and he usually leads off the episodes. He's not leading off this week, but we still did manage to get in some absolute bangers on the man. Check it out. Rocking better shirts than you, loving the JJ crew.
Well, hello there, caller. I don't know. It says Betty from Philadelphia, from Pennsylvania. I hope that's right, but hello, you're on the JJ McCartney Show.
Oh, no, sorry. That's actually my wife's name. My name's Donnie.
Donnie, what's going on?
Should be from Pittsburgh, Steel City.
Pittsburgh. What's going on in Pittsburgh, PA?
Well, I know you know not too much. We've had some crazy weather here, but I've been watching and I've been following this case here, the Jussie Smollett case, because my wife likes the show. I got to say, I knew it was a hoax as soon as I saw a photo of his shirt.
Yeah, and I knew that you were full of crap as soon as I found out you were from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So I hope you don't mind.
There's a lot of balls hanging.
You know what you ought to do? First of all, if your wife can't, why don't you go and copulate yourself? I don't have time for fools and morons like you. Okay, so go do whatever it is that you do. Heaven knows, and give us a chance to have a real adult conversation here. I'm not in the mood for bullshit today. Okay,
Donnie.
I don't appreciate pricks like you. Little fornicating dweebs like you calling my show. Why don't you go call Howard Stern? What Howard Stern would probably tell you off too, because you don't have anything intelligent to say. So goodbye and good riddance. Yeah. We go to the phones and say, hello, you're on the JJ McCartney show. Who's this? Hello, caller.
Hello?
Yes. Your name and state, please.
This is Aidan.
What's going on, Aidan?
Not much. I like the topic of reparations. Just like why now? Why it's been 140 years,
Yeah, 150 actually. Yeah.
Well, I do think that what's happening in the prisons is a little bordering on slavery. And then, there's places across the world where there's definite slavery.
Yeah, well,
like
that's not,
Southeast
but that's not our slavery. That's not our, if other nations allow this to go on, especially nations that hide behind a communist curtain, I mean, there's nothing really, nothing really to suggest that these people, that we are somehow culpable for that. People's great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents and grand back before that went through. You can't do it. It just can't be
Calculate.
And the idea that somehow we're going to, what happens after reparations occur and people blow all their money on crack, they'll be back for more.
The thing about slaves is that some of them even had shirts.
All right. Yeah, I knew that was coming. You really think you're smart sometimes, don't you? Boy, I'll tell you, I told him I did.
Matt Connarton is a new host that we started calling this year, and his main pet peeves are when somebody calls ordering food and when somebody curses. And so you pretty much can figure out what the lone wolves like to target him with. Check it out as we get him with a double dipper call. Check it out.
Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, it's Jerry. What's the topic today?
Well, Jerry,
we're interweaving right now.
Yeah, I do a lot of interweaving. If you're new to the show, Jerry, I keep it kind of and freewheeling.
We're talking about a Mike Pence and his feel for the Space Force in trying to make sure that gay aliens do not come to the world. And then we're also talking about the Empire Star. How do you say his first name? Jussie Smollett, who is just he was arraigned in a Chicago court for his fake hate crime.
Any thoughts, Jerry, on Jussie Smollett or gay aliens and gay aliens?
Sorry, I meant what's the special? I'm feeling beef, maybe.
Oh, I love it.
He's feeling beef.
Wow.
Where's the beef?
Well, Jerry.
Get a call screener, you idiot.
All right, Jerry. Hey, man, that wasn't bad. All right, I have to. All right, we have to. All right, we have to. To divulge and diverse a little bit here. I know who that was, sort of, because he's called the show before in the past. He likes to do these. Now, that wasn't bad, though, because he didn't this time, so I didn't have to hit the dump button and hang up on him. And that was actually sort of clever. That made us laugh. So, Jerry, I'm warming up to you a little bit. If you want to call and do that kind of thing, the beef thing, that was funny. I knew who he was when he said, hey, you got to get... Well, actually, I knew who he was when he mentioned the beef. Jerry, I'm warming up to you a little bit. I don't know how you feel about that. But, call anytime with beef if you want. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, Matt, it's Jerry calling back.
Hello, Jerry.
Well, look at that.
Jerry.
Well, I heard you were saying such a nice thing, and I was like, oh, this is great. They love my fucking beef.
Oh, I knew that was gonna happen. I had a feeling you're good on the
Jerry.
Oh.
That's not good. And there's no point to that. Nobody hears it, Jerry.
The Mancave Radio Boys are a real breath of fresh air on this nasty channel that I run. We haven't talked to them for a while, but let's check in as their good friend Jesse gives them a little update about his new man cave.
Let me try to take this call. Caller from the 208. State your name where you calling from. You're on the Man Cave morning/afternoon show. Welcome. What's up?
Hello?
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, it's me, Jesse. How are you guys?
We're good. How you been, Jesse?
You good. I didn't recognize the voice, but go ahead, man. You're in your man cave doing what?
What's up?
Well, I'm not in a man, so I moved in with a new girl. She's kind of big and strong and tough sort of girl. So she says, hey, Jesse, you can't have a man cave, but she lets me have this man bunker, and it's underneath the house. It doesn't have any windows or anything like that, and she gives me a tray of food 2 times a day. So I'm doing a lot better, boys.
Thanks, man. We're glad you're doing better. Thanks for calling in.
Talk to you soon, fellas.
Thank you, Jesse.
Crazy.
Jesse is fun.
I don't know where he be calling in from.
Jesse did that. He said she let me have a man bunker. Well, at least he'll survive off of those 2 meals a day, right?
All right.
All right, everybody, that's the end, or is it? The answer is yes for some and no for others, because if you go over to patreon.com/notevenashow, you can see a whole wealth of JJ material plus Jeremy Hansen. That's right. This week, Jeremy called JJ himself, and we called Jeremy to talk about his call to JJ, and there's just all sorts of fun there. Go check it out. And there's like 30 back episodes as well. But other than that, do fraud if you want money. Don't go steal. The stealing is wrong and it's hard, and sometimes there's a physical altercation and you can get in a lot of trouble, and that's not the way to go. What you want to do is do fraud. It's very easy and it makes you very rich. Bye.